Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. Most of you have not seen me with my bare face before. It's been a very long time since I've done a get ready with me or any sort of other video that would require me to be naked faced on camera. So I feel a little bit awkward and I feel a little self-conscious right now, but here we are. I wanted to do a get ready with me because a lot of you guys have been requesting them, and especially my friend Valerie, or Val the Rizzle, she had mentioned that she also has the Makeup Revolution. I was about to say Makeup Forever. No, that's another brand. The Makeup Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette, and she asked if I would do a video about it or including it, and so I figured, why not? I've pulled out a couple of other things that I got in swap from Veronica, and I'm going to be also using a lot of things that I am currently panning or focusing on. And yeah, so I have done my skincare already, and it's been soaking in for a little while. I'm not going to be zooming in for like the eye makeup portion or anything. I'm not like a big beauty guru. I'm just doing a get ready with me. I'm going to chat with you about the products and maybe about my life. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, let's just jump on in. So I did my skincare. I am going to go in with primer first. I'm actually mixing these two, and I mentioned these both in my subscription box blitz for this month. This is the Pure Correcting Primer Illuminate and Glow, and then this is the Figs and Rouge Avance Mattifying Emulsion Primer and Pore Refiner. I find that the Figs and Rouge one is a little too mattifying for me. It causes like flakiness and patchiness on my face if I use it by itself. So I've been mixing about 2/3 of the Figs and Rouge to about 1/3 of the Pure, and I find that it's a really nice base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So that's what they look like on my hand before I mix them together. The Figs and Rouge is definitely like a gel, and then the Pure is more of like a cream. Mix it all up. I have my makeup mirror right down here, so if I'm looking down, that's why. But I'm just gonna put that all over the face and then just get that all applied. Alright, so that's looking pretty good right now. My face is getting a little red because of the, I don't know, the stimulation of my fingers on my face. Then I'm going in with this. This is the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. I just have it in this because I cut it open, and I'm just going to go on my nose and like swipe it and press it into my pores. And take a little bit more and I just press it in at the very center of my cheeks, the very inside part, because I do have some visible pores there, but I don't find like I need the swiping motion here. Alright, so I think that's pretty good on the priming front. Next, I'm going to be using a liquid illuminator before I go in with my foundation. I've just been liking using it that way. So again, another little depotted product. This is the Cynthia Rowley Brightening Illuminator, and I'm using a Beauty Junkies sponge that is shaped like the Real Techniques sponge, except that it's black. So I take a little bit on my finger and then I just put it onto the tip of the sponge there, and I just press it on my cheekbones and up into like a C motion. And it peeks out just enough through the foundation that it gives it a really nice like lit from within kind of look. So I'm going to do the same thing, a little bit on my finger onto the brush, onto the sponge. Go up here. You don't have to be super precise since we are covering it with foundation, but this is where I like to focus the product. And I'm going to take a little bit more, and then I'm just going to like put that on my nose, cupid's bow, chin, center of the forehead. Et voila. And the foundation I've been using and enjoying is the Photofocus from Wet n Wild. I have the shade Porcelain. It says it's fair and warm, but to me it's definitely more neutral. I don't know. But I do really like this. I don't have to mix it with anything, which is fantastic. But because I have the mattifying primer on, I have to work in sections, otherwise it sets too fast. So I'm going to start on my forehead and then on my cheeks and then go from there. I think that looks pretty good. It does have really nice coverage. It's pretty solid, medium, almost full coverage to me. I do have a little bit of issue getting around my nostrils. That's just how my face is shaped, but I do really like this foundation. I think it's really nice coverage. Again, I don't have to mix anything in with it, which is fantastic. The combination of the primers and this foundation, I've just really been enjoying. I have some foundation in my hair. What's new? Before I go in with under eye concealer, I am going in with cream blush. So this is NYX Butter Lipstick in Pops, and I've been using this as a cream blush, and I've been talking about this, using it this way, since I added this into my subscription box Blitz project pan, but I've never shown it on camera, so I figured why not show you guys how I use this. Alright, so I take a little bit of this, and I pretty much just draw it onto my ring finger, and then I'll do little dots. I do it like further back on my cheekbone, and then I blend it forward. So I find that this is rather pigmented, and I'd rather the color, at least for my face shape, I like when it sort of blends forward. Different face shapes, you can do it different ways. A lot of people like to do the cream blush on the apple of the cheek and stuff, but just for my face shape, this is what I find works for me. So that's pretty well blended. And I'll go on the other cheek, the other ring finger. I hope that's picking up on camera. I know the light can sort of wash out what's going on, but I think that's a pretty good blend. And for under eye concealer, I've been using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles. This is the Brightener shade, which is pretty pinky toned, but I find for my skin tone, I can get away with using just this. I don't need another concealer paired with it. So I've just been liking it, and I'm trying to use it up because it's not cruelty free. There we are. Let's do the other eye. I do really like the formula of this concealer, and I'll be sad when this is gone because I find that it does not crease, and that's hard to find in a concealer for me, especially because I have some pretty defined under eye lines, and it's just hard to find a good concealer that doesn't emphasize those. So I'm going back with the sponge, I'm using the pointy edge, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that out. Definitely make sure we get that very inner corner. That's where I get the most darkness. It's okay to blend onto the eyelid. It's okay to blend on top of the cream blush because it'll just soften it anyway. Other side. I tell you, I love these sponges. They're so nice. They're super soft. Much better than the Real Techniques to me. And they're stupid cheap. Alright, so before that has a chance to settle into my fine lines, I'm using the Dermablend loose setting powder. I'm just going to use my sponge, get a little bit on there, and press that in. I don't know if you would call what I do baking, because I don't think that I use an excessive amount of product. I just use the wet sponge to press it into my skin. Try not to go into your eyeball. It's not pleasant. And because I have sort of an oily T-zone, I'm going to take a little bit more and go on my nose. Alright, so I'm done with the sponge now. And this is when I usually go in with my eyebrows. So I'm currently using... I have no idea what this brush is. I don't know where this came from. I feel like it was a crown brush or something. Maybe a Coastal Scents brush? I don't know. But you guys know these kind, these angled brushes with the spoolie on the other end, and I need coffee. Okay, so I'm using the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powder. I use the darker shade on the outer 2/3 of my eyebrow, and then I'll use the lighter shade on the innermost portion, and then blend it together and use the spoolie. So that's going to be annoying to try and do on camera because I'm going to be hunched over my mirror, getting really up close because I have terrible eyesight and I should be wearing glasses or contacts, so I'm going to cut off the camera and go do my brows. Okay, like 100 years later, I think we're sort of decent. I don't know. If I didn't say it before, I'm using the dark brown eyebrow cake powder kit thing, and I feel like they're just never dark enough to match with my hair. Even in real life, it just looks not quite right. They just seem a little too light for my like black brown hair, but it is what it is. Alright, I am ready to powder my face. Today, because my face is a little bit more mattified, I'm going to go ahead into the NYX Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. This is in the shade Fair. And I have a little bit of double pan going on right there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's pretty exciting. So I'm just going to take my e.l.f. Kabuki brush, dip that in, and yeah, we're just going to go. I'm just, any excess powder that was left from the Dermablend, just trying to slowly brush away. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's put that away. And next I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes. I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion Original. Before I do that, I'm going to make sure any of that concealer that ended up on my lid is blended out. You don't need a lot of this stuff. I forgot how good the Urban Decay Primer Potion is, but I just use a little dab like that. And to set that, I'm taking this brush. This is from Jessup, but it doesn't have a number. There's a lot of these brush sets that you can find on eBay or whatever that are like the kabuki brushes. You get like 4 or 5 face brushes and 4 or 5 of the eye brushes. So I'm just using the rounded one from a kit that I bought, and I'm going into a face powder, Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. But you can use a skin tone colored eyeshadow, you can use a translucent powder, use whatever you have on hand. I just don't like using the NYX Cosmetics one because it's a little too pigmented, and just the texture of the powder I don't prefer to use to set my eye primer. So that's why I'm using 2 different face powders today. And next, I guess we're going to continue on with the cheeks, finish up the face makeup before we go into the eyes. I'm going to pull out this. This is the Bourjois bronzing powder and highlighter that I got from Veronica, And that's what it looks like. It's a split pan of highlighter and bronzer. So I'm going to go ahead and like bronze contour kind of. I have my Luxie brush. This is a 504 large angled brush, and I'm just going to go into the bronzer part, pick that up, kick off any excess, and go in. Ugh, this powder smells so good. I think that looks pretty good. I'm always terrible at doing my makeup on the side of my face because I'm left-handed, and like reaching around is really hard, okay? Alright, I'm gonna go on the temples as well because that's what I usually do. I'm really, like, I don't want to say insecure, but I'm just hyper aware of the size of my forehead. So I always try to use bronzer or like a contour type of thing to help minimize the appearance of my forehead. Anybody else like that? Jeff always tells me that my forehead is not big, that it's just fine. But I feel so, I don't know, aware of it. I'm just gonna take this a little bit on either side of the nose. Not really contouring, but just to add a little bit of definition so my face isn't like completely flat because of the foundation. So then let's try out this highlighter. It doesn't seem like it's much of anything. It's just sort of like a pearly kind of natural kind of a look. So I have this brush. This is a Real Techniques setting brush. It's pretty. Is it picking up at all? Very like everyday appropriate. I work in an office, so it's not like I'm trying to impress the 24 people that I see on a daily basis, you know? Take a little on the nose because why not? Cupid's bow. Center of the nose, forehead, blah blah blah. I think it looks pretty good. I like it. It's subtle, but it's nice. I forgot my powder blush. I would typically be doing the Balm Cabana Boy, but I left it in the other room and I don't feel like grabbing it, and I have all of my makeup right down there. So I'm just gonna grab this guy. This is pretty neutral. This is a Milani Rose powder blush, and this is in Romantic Rose. I worked on this for a little while earlier in the year, and I love it. It's so pretty. So I'm taking this brush, Real Techniques Multi-Task Brush. I'm just gonna dab into that, shake off the excess, and just swirl it on the cheeks, sort of in between where the bronzer and highlight is. Oh, so pretty. And I use this brush for the Cabana Boy, so there's probably a little bit that's transferring from the bristles because it's already been on there, but that's fine. I like the way it all came together on the cheeks. What do you guys think? Alright, and now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Typically I would use an eye base for my eyes before I go on with shadow. I'm currently using the LOC and Tati in On Point. But because I'm trying out this eyeshadow palette, I'm going to forego that. And we're just going to go right into the shadows. So this is the Makeup Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals. Again, I'm holding this upside down so that the mirror doesn't completely blind you. But they are so pretty. It's like peachy colors and like neutral nudie colors. So I'm just really excited about that. Normally I would run my bronzer and my blush into my crease as transition shades, but I did not want to do that today. I wanted this eye look to be completely from this palette. And the palette also gives you a brush, a dual-sided brush. So one side is sort of like a more concentrated, small, like blending type of brush, and then you have like a flat kind of eyeshadow brush. So let's try this out. I'm going to go ahead into the crease. I'm going to mix these two shades here. So this is Personal and Vogue. I'm just going to dip into both of them with the blending side and go into my crease. Knock off any excess. Ooh, wow, that's pigmented. That's more pigmented than I expected. So let's go in with a different brush. I'm using this fluffy one. This is from Soho. I don't know the name of it, but it's really big and fluffy. So I'm not taking any product on my brush. I'm just gonna blend out what I have already applied on the eye. Just sort of diffuse that. It's okay if you go above the crease. It's okay if you go on the eyelid. This is just sort of our base transition shade. It looks really pretty. So let's go back into those two shades and on this side. Okay, not bad. So next I want to go into the shade, let's do the shade Partial, I guess, which is this one here. So this is sort of like a mauve-y kind of color. I'm just going to take that on the eyelid, all over the lid, with my finger, because that's how we roll. I find that using your finger with particularly shimmery shades just helps them apply better. You don't have to work so hard. And I'm a lazy piece of trash, so, you know. It feels so soft. Like, I really like the feeling of this this eyeshadow. And I think it looks really pretty. I have a Real Techniques base eyeshadow brush. I'm going to go back into that shade with this brush. I love this brush because you can use it so many ways. It's so versatile. You can use it flat to apply the shadow, and then you can flip it. It's fluffy enough that it can blend in your crease. So you can blend it up into the shades we already laid down, so it's a nice, even, seamless look. And it's so soft. Like the brush, these powders. This just feels like a dream. I like it. Alright, so I'm going to go into, what is this shade? Trend, which is this shade here. It's more of like a burnt, rusty kind of color. And I'm going to run this on the lower lash line. Pray for me. I like that. Oh my gosh, everything is so pretty. You know what? I'm going to stay with this brush, and I'm going to go into this darkest red color called Tone, which is this here. Am I in frame? So I'm going to go in with that. I'm going to blend that on the outer third and into the crease. It's so pretty. I love this eyeshadow brush. It's just fantastic. I feel like you can only get this in a set, if I remember correctly, which is ridiculous. You should be able to buy this separately. It's a fantastic eyeshadow brush. Alright, so I'm going to set that down. I'm going to go into a mixture of these lightest two and blend towards my brow bone. You don't have to be super precise with this. Okay, and then to make a nice transition between the brow bone and what's already in the crease, I'm going to go between this guy and this guy. So what are those shades? Neutral and Adapt. Yeah. We're just going to go between those two and blend above the crease. not showing up too much, but that is perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that we have a smooth transition between what's on the lid and crease and what's on the brow bone. Of course, these lights wash out so much that when I look at myself in real life, I will probably look like a complete lunatic. So there we are. Alright, so for the inner corner, I'm using the tiniest eyeshadow brush of life. I got this from H&M before they brought in the newer makeup line. So this was forever ago. I think I got this, I'm pretty sure I got it for free, but I feel like this was in the clearance section for like $1. But I'm going to use that, and I'm going to go into the shade called Style, which is this like baby pink kind of color. And I'm just going to like go into the inner corner with that. Blend it into the lid and into the lower lash line a little bit, just so it's a nice smooth transition. I never like harsh lines. I think that's why I could never do a cut crease, is because I just hate, like, I can appreciate a cut crease on someone else, but I am like a super blender and I have to blend my eyeshadow. I don't like when things are, I don't know, too separated looking. So I think that looks pretty nice. It's not as bright as I typically go for, but it's alright. It's not bad. Because the other two, the lighter shades, are sort of like satiny. The white is pretty matte, but then the yellowy is satiny, and I don't really want to go for yellowy. So I think that looks pretty good. Then I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. flat eyeliner brush, and I'm going to go into the shade called Custom up here. It's like this dark brown shade. And I'm going to go on the lower lash line, really close to the lashes, and mostly like press that there. Alright, so that just added a little bit more definition to the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go in with my eyeliner. This is the Rimmel Scandalize in the shade Brown, and I probably should have sharpened it before this video, but that's where we are. So I'm going to tight line, do my waterline, and my upper lash line. This is going to take me forever. I'm going to be really up close to the mirror again, so I apologize, but I am going to cut the camera off so I can do that and focus. And yeah. Okay, it got really messy when I was trying to do this, but oh well. So before the eyeliner completely sets, I'm going to take the flat eyeliner brush again back into that dark brown called Custom, and I'm just going to set underneath first and blend it downwards onto the lower lash line. And then we're going to go with the same shade on the upper lash line. And I'm not looking for anything super precise. I do like a kind of smoky liner kind of look most days. Some days I'll go in with a liquid liner. I've actually been liking a brown liquid liner as well. So I did have a little bit of fallout. I'm just going to take my kabuki brush, go like this. And I think that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? I don't know, I might go in with the liquid liner just to sharpen up the very inner part of the line on the upper lash line. This is the Wet n Wild Pro Line Felt Tip Eyeliner in dark brown. It just gets closer to the inner part of the eye than I typically feel comfortable with a like pencil liner. I've just been really liking brown, so I think that looks pretty good. Some days I would use this to like wing a little bit, but that's fine. I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and set the makeup. So to set my makeup today, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter. It is a tried and true. I got like 2 of these on clearance for like 18 bucks. So here we go. fan that dry. I do really like the sprayer on the all-nighter. It's very fine. There are a lot of setting sprays where it's not as fine and you can get like droplets on your face and then it just looks really crazy. So now that that's dry, I'm going to go in with my lower lash mascara. I'm currently using the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. This is almost done. I think that it's starting to flake on me, but I'm not exactly sure. But I'm going to go ahead on the lower lashes. Alright, I think that's pretty good. While that is drying, I'm going to go ahead in with my brow gel. I'm using this one that I just got from Veronica. This is the PS by Primark Brow Fixing Gel. It's just a clear one. It's already starting to get kind of murky because of my eyebrow powder. That's a pretty good eyebrow gel. So next I'm going to go in with my upper lash mascara. I'm currently using the Mally Volumizing Mascara. Not super into it. When I was talking about mascaras in my subscription box blitz, I was saying, you know, there are mascaras that don't flake, transfer, smudge, whatever, that I don't like the effect of, and this is one of them. Like, it's an okay mascara, it just doesn't build up the lashes like I like them to be. But for every day, when I'm in an office with 24 people, I don't really care. Like, I'll save the more dramatic mascara for when I'm out and about. I'm not really trying to impress my coworkers. I just find that this doesn't really provide much volume. It's okay. That's pretty much it. I wouldn't spend the 20 whatever dollars. But I got this in a swap, so I didn't spend anything on it. Alright, not bad. So next I'm going to do my lips and then we are done. So the lip liner that I've been using is this one from True Lips, whatever it is, Me Now Generation 2 True Lips. This is in number 54. It's just like a pinky nude color. I'm going to go ahead and line and fill in my lips and I will be right back. Alright, so that is the lip liner applied to my lips. I think it's a nice color. It's a decent formula. I'm just trying to power through them because I don't think the brand is cruelty free. But the last thing that I'm using is another thing that I received in swap from Veronica. This is the Sleek Matte Me Ultra Smooth Matte Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Birthday Suit. This is packaged so much like the Maybelline Color Elixirs. Do I have one here? Actually, I do. Look at that. So this one's just a matte black, and this one's like a metallic silver. But yeah, completely different type of product, but same package. I thought that was kind of funny. But this is an interesting product. I used this the other night when I went out to dinner with my husband and his family, and this is what the wand looks like. Very different from what the wand for the Color Elixirs looks like. It's very pointed and small. Honestly, are you riding a lawnmower up the road? Alright, so that's what it looks like. It's a really, really nice color. It's a little bit sticky, but it wears really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this. If I'm looking down, I apologize. That's where my mirror is. Okay, so pretty, right? I don't think these have a scent, but I really like the color. I think it looks really good with this look in particular. I just really like the way it came together. So I'm really happy with the new products that I'm trying out. the Bourjois bronzing powder and highlighter. I think the highlighter looks really nice. I'm really into it. I like the eye look that I created with the neutrals versus neutrals palette, and I really like the color of this lip product. I'm into it, and I'm glad I was able to use some of my Project Pan items so you guys could see how I use them, what I've been liking, how I've been using them. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull my hair out of this low ponytail. And I guess that's just about the finished look. So yeah, that's the look for today, and you have probably seen this look in 2 videos that I'm also filming today. I have my subscription box unboxings and a Project Pan update or finale. So yeah, if you like this look, please give me a thumbs up and let me know if you'd like to see any more Get Ready With Me's, if you have any specific requests for products or whatever to feature. Let me know. I would love to do more of these. I'm going to try and do one of these a month or something like that. So yeah, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and hopefully I will catch all of you in my next video. Bye guys.